he was an immortal witch, older than the forests, older than the wind. She had seen kings rise and kingdoms fall, but Millie stayed the same.
Aww.
She never parted with anything that did not come back. Each night, she gazed at the night sky. The stars glittered, stretching across the horizon. She never wondered how they came to be.
This is
She
so
just
cute.
thought that it was beautiful. And that was enough. Driven by a fleeting boredom, Millie decided to chase after a rainbow. It stretched
NIJISANJI.
across the sky, bright and strange. At the end of the abyss, she found him. Laying on the grass was a man whom she did not know.
Yeah, he looks so cute.
His arms,
He's so
shiny
baby.
metal, but with the kindest eyes. It looked as if he'd stumbled out of a different time. Immortality had taught Millie not to be easily surprised. Fulgur, he said. Millie held his hand, cool and smooth, but warm somehow. They became friends.
Aww.
They cooked together and burned everything. They proceeded to go on a little expedition to a different place full of fantasies. Fulgur called them adventures. He never completed any, except one.
Wait, what?
Fulgur showed her movies, a technology from the future. Stories on a softly glowing screen.
Oh my god.
Millie thought it was magic. They laughed, they cried, they analyzed. To her, every day felt new. To him, every day felt full.
Damn straight.
Their little world soon expanded. Soon, they made new friends too. Fulgur came home one day,
Oh
accompanied by a
no!
friendly dog. Then, a quiet little sheep. The seasons changed, but they stayed together. Warm meals, shared stories, a gentle kind of forever.
Oh
A
my
quiet,
god.
enduring happiness. Then one morning, Fulgur moved a little slower, his
No!
glow a little dimmer. I'm just tired, he said, with a small smile.
Oh,
She believed him. She didn't see anything more than the tiredness in his fading light.
oh.
Worried gnawed at Millie. She saw her friend change every day. One day, she packed a bag. Her movements hurried, almost frantic. They are sages, she said. Old and wise. They might know what to do. Fulgur hesitated for a mere second or two. Then, he nodded. That sounds like an adventure. And he smiled, not with hope, but with a quiet ache of someone who already knew that this would be his last one. The dog joined them. The sheep did too. The road ahead was long, but they're not alone.
They stood at the edge of a cliff. The
Wait!
sun dipped into the sea. A solar dragon flew overhead, its
Finana?
wings trailing light. A mermaid appeared as well,
You pulled
her
people into
hair
this?
shimmering like starlight.
Fulgur found us when we were
Beautiful.
lost.
The dragon stated.
Sometimes, being there is all it takes to help someone find their way.
They watched as the tides came in. Both offered a silent offering. A thank you carried by the wind. The sky was clear. The road was leading them onwards. In a still cold winter, a garden held an unexpected sight.
You f***ers, you f***ing
With
suck!
a beautiful red rose. The penguin took care to shield the bloom from the biting wind. Fulgur told me this rose is meant to bloom, even in the frost. He said, even if you're afraid, you still have the right to progress. The penguin said, and I did. She carefully placed the rose between both wings of her hands. The wind blew through the trees. The petals remained. They stepped out of the garden. The quiet enveloped them. It felt sweeter.
They entered a meadow. Flowers were in full bloom. A songbird sat on a branch, singing melodiously. A happy ghost danced close, bobbing her head to the beat. "We're friends now," said the ghost.
Fulgur said that music is best when it is shared. Once upon a time, I was a lonely bird, singing to the skies. Now we make songs together.
The ghost spun in the air. In the peaceful woods, the songbird gave just one note, a beautiful tone that reaches the whole forest. They listened and continued their journey.
In the meadow, they spend the night at a campfire side
Did you
front of the
find
stars.
this?
3 travelers sat close: a demon, a sorcerer, and a mafia. The flames danced, casting shadows on their faces. The demon stared into the fire. A thoughtful look crossed his face. He shifted slightly.
You know,
He began, his voice low.
I used to think the world was just one thing.
He paused, poking at the embers with a stick.
Cruel, unforgiving.
He looked up, meeting the other's eyes.
Fulgur, he said something different. He said the world could be kind again.
He paused again, with hope on his gaze.
It could be changed. He truly believes that. And so did I.
The fire crackled, and the stars shone above.
As they continued their journey, Fulgur grew quieter. Millie filled the silence with stories,
Are you
tales he used to laugh at. Now, he only just smiled. She clung to the hope that she was just tired and hurried their steps a little faster.
They arrived at a school, a place of light and shadow, where day met night. The sun and the moon were woven into its very walls. Of the game's students, played in groups, one spoke up,
Fulgur is the one who summoned us here.
said the moon student.
He said that it's more entertaining when everyone is involved.
He said to us that it is all right to be different.
Said the sun student.
These are the words that I cherish deeply, and forever will, no matter what the future holds for me.
Their laughter filled the air as the journey moved on.
They met a small group on a grassy slope. An ex-hitman, a healer, an ace, and a cleric. They knew them from somewhere. The ace smiled.
Fulgur said we all grow at our own pace. There's no right or wrong way of life, and it's okay to take our time, to learn and try again. We're not racing anyone else, and that's okay. More than okay.
They listened to the ace and took those words to heart. Then they parted ways with a lesson learned.
Next, they arrived at a large mansion. It was scary from the outside, but the inside felt kind. The bodyguard spoke.
People get scared. But Fulgur saw through our silence. He said, being soft does not mean being weak. He stayed, even when it was not easy.
The house was not scary at all. It felt warm. It gave a sense of being appreciated. They had tea with the residents, and soon they left the warm house, carrying a new understanding of strength and gentleness.
A place was being built, and they found 4 young men debating over who is to dip the brush in the paint.
We are still in the process of developing. Month, man.
A man said.
But Fulgur said that we will not get all the answers at once. He believed in small steps. He said that community begins with listening.
Their space was new, but yet full of passion, where new steps towards learning yourself were protected.
That night, they decided to make a halt under the stars. The dog curled beside Millie. The sheep curled near Fulgur. Millie stared up at the sky. I like the stars, she said. You're always there, even when I forget to look. Fulgur looked up, then pointed to the moon. I like the moon more. It's reflective. It has no light of its own.
Fuck
He
no!
smiled. It borrows light, and it shines
I already
back.
said that like 3 weeks
Lily
ago.
didn't say anything, but in her heart, she thought, during this adventure, everyone sees him as a guiding star. She just sat closer and watched the stars with him that night. The next morning, they head towards the sages of the future. Morning came. They arrived at the first sage.
I am the sage of righteousness.
Lily moved closer, holding hope, like it was the only thing that could save her. Can you save him? The sage stared at Fulgur with a long and unbroken gaze.
There's no way I can prevent what is going to happen,
He stated.
but I can tell you what you have done.
He approached Fulgur and put a hand on his chest.
You provided light to those in the dark before they could even ask. You gave a platform to the voiceless. You remained selfless even when your work was not noticed. That's already more than many will achieve in a whole lifetime. You taught others that strength is not always about being seen. It's about showing up anyway.
Fulgur's lips opened slightly, as if he wanted to answer, but no words came. The sage bowed his head.
You were enough. You always were.
They left quietly and continued on. By midday, the second sage was located.
I am the sage of happiness.
Of course
Lily
you
asked
are.
Is there still time? Her voice was smaller now. The sage knelt beside Fulgur. He took his hand, not as a sage, but as a friend who has been through what Fulgur had gone through.
Time isn't just years, months, or seconds. It's about how much you lived.
He smiled, but it was a sad smile, a rare sight to see on his face.
You made people feel happy and have something to look forward to. Even when you were tired, even when you were breaking, you told them that laughter still belongs to the weary, and grace, even short-lived, is something sacred.
He turned to Millie.
He felt joy. He gave joy. And that means he lived.
Oh, the past tense. Oh,
Their footsteps were slower now.
He's
as they drew
recovering.
towards the last light of day. The night has set in, and the third sage was found.
I am the sage of love.
Millie tried to speak, but her breath hitched. She didn't need to ask. The sage stared at Fulgur for a long time. His gaze held with affection. It held the quiet ache.
Many have I seen pass through,
He replied.
but you,
He stopped suddenly, took a deep breath.
you changed something in me.
He moved closer and placed his hand on Fulgur's chest.
It is about the love you freely offered and never demanded in return. You pointed out that gentleness is a form of power.
His voice trembled.
I have been speaking of love for centuries. But with you, I finally understood it.
The sage smiled, tender and breaking.
I fell in love with the way you saw people. This is the kindness he gave, even when he was running out of time. If I can make a wish to the stars, it wouldn't be to stop this. It would be to go back and walk beside you longer.
He knelt before Fulgur.
Love isn't just what clings. It's what remains and grows even after goodbye.
Fulgur lowered his head, and for the first time, he cried Not for fear,
You!
but for
Fuck
being
you.
seen. Lily reached for his hand, and finally, she cried too. The sage stepped back quietly, and the grove fell still. The moon was rising behind them. It was the last time with the sages. And ahead, the moon shines bright. The wind picked up. The road ended. Fulgur sat down slowly. He looked tired, but at peace. Millie watched him, uncertain. I'm sorry. I thought this journey would find a cure, but it only ended up draining you even more.
Oh, that was a good journey.
Fulgur smiled kindly. A sad smile. Millie, this journey was everything to me. Each day, each moment was real and beautiful. He cleared his throat. His voice shook. I felt so much. Laughing at burnt dinners, friends who became family, meeting everyone we've encountered. His light was dim, but his eyes shone. The small joys made me happy. I needed them. I didn't know how much until they were here. Millie squeezed his hand, listening to his final words. Fulgur spoke softly, his voice trembling. Even the hard days were special, because I was here, part of it. He breathed slowly. If I could choose again, I'd choose every second.
Wouldn't change a fucking thing.
All the laughs, even goodbye. His words trailed off. He felt warm. He took a slow breath and didn't breathe again.
A soft glow rose from his chest.
Call
It a
up.
soft orb. It lifted gently, rising higher and higher, up past the trees, beyond the clouds, until the sky held its breath. Then, a star of light shone in midst of dark clouds. Not just a star, but a memory made visible. Bright, steady, and unmistakably him. He had once fallen from the sky, a person from the abyss, and now he had to return to it as something that would never fade away. He wasn't just remembered, he was part of the sky now, the brightest star, a guide, a light.
On the grassy hill, Millie sat silently. The dog rested against her side. The sheep rested quietly close. She didn't speak. She didn't need to. She just stared at the sky to address the star and felt its gentle warmth. He was gone, but his story wasn't. It existed a memory in every soul that he encountered. Every quiet kindness shared. Every moment he left behind. And above them, bright and steady, the stars shimmered again. A quiet reminder that he had never truly left. And a story that everyone will remember. The end.
Well, okay. She managed to one-up me on story. How the fuck did they... They all came together on that. Are you kidding me? No. Fuck you, Pio-chan. That was love. You guys suck. The best way. That story was so fucking beautiful. The fact that you got so many people involved in it and nobody told me a thing. People that really shouldn't have done it, like Albert, who's recovering from surgery. Skulls, who's recovering her voice and has been in Japan and super busy this whole time. What the f? And just the message of it was so beautiful. It wove in like so many of the things that I've been saying, like even recently. The whole like moon thing and the fact that I turn into a star at the end. No, she's got to come back out. How dare you? That was absolutely beautiful. And that was one of the best projects I've ever seen. I didn't expect I'd get anything like that. I'm not gonna say what she said, but I tried to call her and she's busy. Can I say that on stream? No, but that was so... Okay, she said sure. Her response was, what the f***? I'm pooping. The coffee is making me shit. Sasuga, Witch of Calamity. I'm very good at telling other people to feel their feelings and to talk things through, and that just absolutely fucking destroyed me. After making all of us cry, I know. She managed to bring together everyone in the branch for that and make a beautiful story out of nothing, and it was so beautiful, and the message is so sweet. And it's something that a lot of people had been trying to tell me for a long time that I always ignored or just pushed to the side or just thought that it wasn't true, that I didn't have any kind of impact. See so many people come together for that fucking destroys me. It's unlisted, so I want to ask you if you want to keep it as is. No, of course you can fully upload it. That's beautiful. Yeah. Especially for everybody who worked on it.